All right, so I wanted to address you regarding professional development in education. One of the things that people fail to realize is how important it is for you to continue your education once you get the degree. A lot of folks believe that once you earn your teacher's license, like you're done. You ain't got to learn anything else. You ain't got to do anything else. Like you are an expert educator. And the reality of that is that's just not true. Every year, as you teach, quite honestly, is going to be part of your professional development because you'll learn a lot of things about yourself, about students, and about your teaching style, and so you'll figure out how to adjust certain things you do and the way you go about doing to convey information to students in a more effective fashion. One of the things you will also have to do is once you earn your license, if you're unaware, it's only good for 5 years. So what that means is that you have to meet certain needs and certain requirements in order to be able to renew that license later down the line. And one of the things that teachers take full advantage of consistently is professional development sessions. And so what professional development is whatever school district you happen to work for is going to pay somebody to come in and basically try to give you some information about new trends in education, different ways to reach your students, different teaching styles, different curriculums and things of that nature that may have proven to be effective in other localities. Some of the problems with the professional developments that I've been to pretty consistently is they seem to be a waste of time. Like on a lot of occasions, they don't necessarily give you something that you can immediately take from that session, go back into your classroom and apply. A lot of times, they also don't give you enough time to kind of really understand what it is you're doing and why you're doing certain things in a certain way. So it doesn't really get you to buy in. And so because you're not bought into it, it's like, why am I wasting my time doing this? I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm just going to stick with what I know. But one of the things you have to do is you have to be open-minded when it comes to teaching. Like, our conceptual framework is being effective, caring, competent, and the most important piece is being that reflective practitioner. Like, you are going to have to be honest with yourself about your strengths, and not just your strengths, but your weaknesses. Like, you are not the perfect teacher. I'm just going to tell you now. And you can watch this video 10 years from now, and that statement is still going to hold true. Like, you're not the perfect teacher. You constantly have to grow. And what that means is you got to reflect on your particular lessons and your style and what works and what doesn't work. If you got a ton of kids in your class that are doing poorly, it's most likely your fault, not theirs. Like, I understand part of it, students, a lot of them are lazy. You hear me say all the time, you have to be an active participant in your own education, and that's the reality, but it's your job as a teacher to try to instill that in the students. Teach them to understand why it's important for them to be motivated in your classroom and engaged in your classroom. And the reality is a lot of that information, a lot of that insight you can get from some of those professional developments. You may not be a college student anymore, but you are still a student. You are still learning. So like when you attend those various sessions, you got to study what's going on. You really do got to take the different information that they give you back home and review it and go over it and figure out how you can apply it in your classroom so that you can improve your teaching. Like, your goal should be a 100% pass rate on any assessment that you give from all of your students. Students are at different stages and different places in their lives as far as maturity as well as their cognitive abilities. So not everybody's going to get 100. Like, that's just a reality. But, if everybody's passing, if everybody's developing an understanding, you're certainly accomplishing what you need to do as an educator. And the best way to do that is through a lot of those professional developments. In addition to professional developments that the districts offer, you are going to have to take some initiative yourself to take classes on your own. You may want to join a certification program. Once you teach for a while, you might get in and be like, yo, I want to go back and add this endorsement. And you might take a class to add an endorsement. Or, my principal crazy. That woman don't know what she's doing. I do much better job than she does. So you go back to school and you earn a master's degree in administration and supervision. But that, it takes time, but it's something that you need to do. The key is to constantly prepare yourself to be able to meet the needs of your students, whatever they may be. Some people enjoy staying in the classroom. Stay in the classroom. That's fine. But still learn how to be a master teacher. Bottom line is we need people, quote unquote, in the trenches. Like, we need people with boots on the ground. We need the most important line of defense of the folks that are looking at the kids every single day, which are the teachers. So become a master teacher. Right? Go get a master's degree and a master's of teaching. Become a national board certified teacher and go through the process of, gaining that sort of certification, because it all helps you. You'll have to record yourself and watch yourself and be honest in how you go about teaching. Other people will look at it and give you constructive feedback on what you need to do to improve yourself and things like that. You always have to be willing to to improve yourself. And so what a lot of you want to learn how to do is to stop taking stuff personal. Like, okay, hopefully I'm not the first one to ever say this to you, but you ain't good at everything. Okay, you're not. Like, you're not. None of us are. So don't stress that. And when somebody comes to you and tells you, yo, you need to do this to improve yourself, if it's someone who is trustworthy, don't go, oh, she just hating on me. No, like, they're trying to make you better. You're hating on them because you mad that they're putting you in your place. Like, get over that, right? Get out your feelings. We ain't got time for that in education. You got to reach kids. Quite honestly, once you step into the classroom, you're not the most important person there anymore. So get over it, yo. You got to do what you got to do to meet the needs of those kids. So just constantly work as hard as you can to improve yourself, to better yourself, to figure out how to be the best teacher you can, so we can go out here and we can save some lives, young people. Thank you for listening.